Hello Pharma aspirants, welcome to GDC classes. Today in our session, we are going to discuss the Target Pharma 360-degree series, that is the MCQ series. We have already started this series and today we are going to discuss about the previous year questions in 2023, that means 2023, whatever the previous year question paper it is there. So, in that question paper related to our Tamil Nadu Recruitment Board Pharmacist exam, we are going to discuss the questions related to that. Okay. So, let us see in the shift 2 what are the different pharmaceutical chemistry related questions have been appeared, and let us discuss all these that means the questions, the MCQs with clear cut explanations in our English language. Okay. Let us go to the questions first. Sodium bicarbonate on heating gives. Okay. So, these questions, all the questions whatever we are going to discuss today are already there in our previous year question papers booklet, whatever we have provided to you. Okay. So, in that you can find that. Now, let us clear cut explanation, we will follow that. So, sodium bicarbonate on heating. So, while heating the sodium bicarbonate, what the products it is going to give. So, let us see the options. Sodium carbonate plus carbon dioxide, option B sodium chloride plus carbon dioxide, sodium hydroxide plus carbon dioxide, sodium sulphate plus carbon dioxide. We know that sodium bicarbonate, that means whatever the sodium NaHCO3 it is there. Okay. So, on heating it is going to give you the sodium carbonate, 2 molecules of sodium bicarbonate it is going to be observed, and it is going to give you sodium carbonate as well as the CO2 and water. Okay. So, in this you are going to observe the CO2 gas as well as the sodium carbonate as a solid. So, if you see the options whatever they have given, so in that clear cutly sodium carbonate plus carbon dioxide. Okay. So, with respect to stoichiometry if you observe, then 2 moles of the sodium bicarbonate it is going to give you 1 mole of sodium carbonate only, but here just they have asked what are the products only. So, sodium carbonate plus carbon dioxide, sodium chloride nowhere it is going to be formed, sodium hydroxide, sodium sulphate, so no chance of forming this. Okay. So, carbon dioxide anyhow it will be released, but the product that is sodium carbonate as a solid we are going to observe. So, this sodium bicarbonate we know that it is also called as a baking soda, which is going to be used in so many preparations of the confectionery materials, right. Next, aluminum hydroxide gel IP. So, this aluminum hydroxide gel it is already official in the so many pharmacopoeias. So, according to Indian pharmacopoeia what it contains, they have asked the same TNMRB in 2023. So, let us see the options. Aluminum oxide, hydrated aluminum oxide with varying quantities of basic aluminum carbonate and bicarbonate, and aluminum hydroxide. Okay. So, if you observe the options, aluminum hydroxide gel, so which is going to be used as an antacid, we know very well that. Okay. So, this antacid it is a combination of hydrated aluminum oxide with different quantities of aluminum carbonate as well as aluminum bicarbonate. Okay. So, if you observe the marketed product related to this aluminum hydroxide gel, it contains the hydrated aluminum, that means it is an antacid which is going to be used. Okay. So, it is not a pure aluminum hydroxide, it contains hydrated aluminum oxide and variable quantities of aluminum carbonate as well as aluminum bicarbonate also. So, why this mixture is used, which going to help or it is going to neutralize the increased amount of the acids which are released in our stomach, and majorly in the form of ulcers. Okay. So, acid refluxes whenever you are going to observe in case of the ulcers, peptic ulcers. Okay. So, in those cases mostly it is going to be used, and not only that, in case of the heartburn and generally in the gastritis problems, this aluminum hydroxide gel is mostly preferred. Okay. So, let us see the next question. A drug commonly used in the shampoo for treating dandruff. Okay, the questions are more related to the marketed formulations only in case of this pharmacist related questions. Okay, so a drug commonly used in the shampoo for treating the dandruff. So we know that different hair formulations, hair supplements are also going to be used, and mostly for dandruff means it is a fungal infection, we know that, and the commonly used shampoo which contains all these antifungal shampoos contains which material. They are asking whether it is selenium sulphide, sulfur, 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘾𝙄𝑜𝑥𝑖𝑑e or hydrogen sulphide. Okay, so we all very well know that selenium sulphide, it is going to act as a antifungal agent. Okay, so if you observe the selenium sulphide which contains that means the formulation which is going to be available at 2.25% as a shampoo, which can be used for the not only for the dandruff, it is also going to be used seborrheic dermatitis as well as tinea versicolor. Okay, that means it is a fungal skin infection. For that we are going to use the selenium sulphide. Okay, so this selenium sulphide, it is a topical antifungal agent which is medicated shampoo, it is going to as a preferred. Okay, so how it is going to work means by reducing the production of natural oils, that means the sebum, whatever it is going to be formed in our scalp glands. Okay, sebaceous scalp, on the scalp how the sebum it is going to be generated, we know that. So reducing that production of this natural oil and slowing down the growth of the yeast. Yeast is nothing but Malassezia on the scalp, which contributes majorly the dandruff. Okay, the problem that is causing the dandruff problem. So this selenium sulphide is having the particular topical antifungal action by this mechanism. Okay, let's move to the next question, which is used to the prepare styptic pencil. Okay, that means why this styptic pencil it is going to be used. First of all, we should know that. Then how this styptic pencil is useful in some of the emergency cases. Okay, so first of all, let us see what is this styptic pencil look like. So this is just a normal pencil like one. Okay, if you just put it on the any type of the minor cuts and burns, it is going to stop the bleeding. So it is a crayon, hemostatic, 100% natural. Okay, so hemostatic pencil, this is also called a styptic pencil, which is going to be used to stop the minor bleedings such as small cuts or shaving nicks. Okay, so by how it is going to mechanism, how it is going to work means it is going to construct the blood vessels and which is going to do the coagulation of the proteins at the site of the bleeding. So for that purpose, what it is actually contain? It contains a alum. Okay, so mostly it is going to be a potassium alum. That means alum means what? Aluminium sulphate. So it is a salt of potassium, potassium aluminium sulphate, which is called as a normal alum, which is also going to be used in purification of the water also. So majorly this potassium alum, it is going to act as a astringent also as well as hemostatic agent also. So in styptic pencil, whatever we have seen, in this the active ingredient, that is nothing but the potassium aluminium sulphate, that is alum, it is called as. Okay, so zinc oxide, sodium sulphate, potassium permanganate, these are not the major one. Alum, it is going to be used in order to stop the bleeding at the site of cut. Okay, so because it is going to act as a hemostatic agent. Next question, if you observe the molecular weight of potassium acetate, very easy question in the pharmacist exam they have asked, but we should know the formula for the potassium acetate first. Okay, so first of all, let us see the potassium acetate. If you observe, it is we know that it is a very white colored powder, and in this CH3COOH means acetic acid, potassium acetate means potassium salt of this acetic acid, we are going to take it. So in this, if you want to calculate, okay, so how many carbons? 2 carbons are there, 2 into 12, 24, and how many hydrogens? 3 hydrogens, so 3, as well as oxygens, 2 oxygens, so 2 into 16, 32, and potassium, if you take the weight, that is molecular weight we are going to take, that is 39.1 exactly if you want to take, but roughly you can remember 39. So, if you mix total 24 plus 3 27 plus 32 29 plus 27 plus 2 29 plus 30 59 plus 39, okay. So, almost 98. Now, let us see the options how they have given. 95 given, 98, 97, 96 exact weights they have given. So, almost we have up to calculated 98 plus. So, definitely the option B, it is the right one. But what are the units also they have given? Gram per mole, okay. We have calculated based on the molecular weight. So, option B, it is going to be the right answer. Next question, synonym of ferrous sulfate. Okay, we know very well that ferrous sulfate, it is going to be used in the identification of the qualitative analysis in our inorganic chemistry. Okay, so it is the general name they are asking, ferrous sulfate. White vitriol, yellow vitriol, orange vitriol, green vitriol. Okay, so let us see some of the compounds which are having these synonyms. First of all, ferrous sulfate they have asked. So, ferrous sulfate we know that FeSO4, it is going to be heptahydrate, 7H2O it is available. So, it is going to be in a pale green color. So, that is why it is called as a green vitriol. Whereas, zinc sulfate, all these are the sulfates only. Okay, whenever sulfates are available, the metals are going to be different. For that purpose, we are going to see the different colors. So, zinc sulfate, it is also heptahydrate only, and it is called as a white vitriol because it is white in color, which is acting as astringent. And not only in the talcum powders, in the eye drops also they are going to use. Okay, whereas this green vitriol, nothing but the ferrous sulfate, we are going to take it as a iron supplement. Now, let us see the blue vitriol means copper. Definitely blue means copper will be there. So, copper sulfate pentahydrate 5H2O, it is available. It is bright blue in color, which is going to be acting as a fungicide. And red vitriol, that means cobalt, due to the presence of the cobalt metal. So, it is also available as sulfate only, heptahydrate. It is in the pink or red color, mostly red color you are going to see, and mostly in case of the electroplatings we are going to use this red vitriol, cobalt sulfate. And yellow vitriol means ferric sulfate, not ferrous sulfate. Ferrous sulfate is in green color, whereas ferric sulfate, it is in the yellow color. Okay, so this is going to be used in the water treatment plants. Now, let us move to the question they have asked, synonym for the ferrous sulfate. Okay, FeSO4 they have asked. So, that is nothing but the green vitriol. So, white vitriol means zinc sulfate, and yellow vitriol means ferric sulfate, as well as orange vitriol. Okay, orange color also they have asked, but because here red cobalt solutions it is also available. Okay, now let us move to the next question, tartar emetic. Okay, that means this is another name for a compound. So, what is that compound? Let us see the options, potassium tartrate, sodium tartrate, sodium potassium tartrate, and antimony potassium tartrate. Actually, this is a salt of the tartaric acid. So, general name they have asked, tartar emetic. What is the compound which is named as tartar emetic? That is nothing but actually antimony potassium tartrate. So, let us see the common names for the some of the other compounds also. So, in this if you observe the potassium tartrate, okay. So, common name, if you, that means in the simple tartaric acid, it is going to be converted into the potassium salt, and sodium tartrate is also going to be used in such a way that sodium potassium tartrate, this is a bisalt. Okay, both sodium and potassium it is going to be used. This is the common name having a Rochelle salt. Okay, so mostly it is going to be used in the effervescent mixtures. Whenever the effervescent formulations are going to be done, then they are going to use this sodium potassium tartrate. And next, antimony potassium tartrate. Okay, so here also you are going to see potassium as well as antimony in the form of oxide. So, this is having the general name of tartar emetic. Why? Because it is a salt of tartaric acid and used as an emetic and anti-parasitic agent. Okay. So, for that purpose, the general name for this has been kept as tartar emetic. So, now let us see the options they have given. 95 given, 98, 97, 96 exact weights they have given. So, option B, it is the right answer. Next question, potassium tartrate, sodium tartrate, these are not the emetics. Sodium potassium tartrate, it is a Rochelle salt, whereas antimony potassium tartrate, it is having the common name of tartar emetic. It is going to be used as a emetic. Okay. Next option, okay, next question. Iodinated albumin injection is used for, okay. So, this iodine, it is going to be used in case of the diagnostic purpose. We all very well know about that information. So, iodine 131, that means isotope, they are asking determination of the blood volume and investigation of CVS function, cardiovascular functions. Investigation of the liver function, actually iodinated albumin injection is used, they are asking. Renal function investigation, investigation of the lung function. So, in which case this iodine 131 isotope is going to be used. So, as an albumin injection, for which diagnostic purpose we are going to use? Actually, the answer is determination of the blood volume and investigation of the CVS function. Let us see how it is going to be used. That means, what are the different isotopes which are available for the diagnostic purpose. So, in case of the iodine, okay, so not only 131, iodine 125, iodine 133, different isotopes are there. So, iodinated serum albumin, it is available in the injection form. So, why it is going to be used means determination of the plasma volume, total blood volume, circulation time and cardiac output, localization of the neoplasm of the burns which are going to be used. Okay. So, coming to the ferric chloride and citrate, because it is going to be used as a solution, that means Fe59 we are going to use it. So, in this case, the study of iron metabolism and RBC formation, how it is going to be used. So, for that purpose, so this ferric chloride and citrate, it is going to be used. And next, cyanocobalamin, cobalt, cyanocobalamin, we know that vitamin B12. So, in this cobalt, 57, 58 and 60 different types of the isotopes in the form of capsules as well as injection, it is also going to be used. Majorly this cobalt 57 or 58 in case of the pernicious anemia, in the diagnosis of pernicious anemia we are going to use it, whereas cobalt 60 means treatment of advanced stage of the cancer involving the cervical cancer or vagina, uterus, bladder cancer, mouth, okay, any type of the some of the cancers, okay, in order to detect that, this cobalt 60 it is going to be used. And next, sodium pertechnate, that means this TC99, this isotope, it is going to be used as injection for brain scanning and thyroid functioning test, okay. And this technetium sulfide in the form of sulfide, this TCT99 as a colloidal solution, this is also going to be used for the diagnosis of liver and spleen scars are any there or not, okay. So, all these are the different isotopes, radioisotopes, we are going to use it in order to diagnostic purpose. So, now let us move to the question, that is iodine 131, okay. So, determination of the blood volume as well as CVS function. So, iodine 125 it is going to be used for the same blood volume as well as cardiac output and all this, iodine 125 as well as 131 also, and 133 it is going to be used for the localization of the neoplasm of the burns, okay. Okay, next, vacuum salt made by purification of the rock salt, okay. So, we have seen so many types of the salts also in the market available, okay. So, rock salt, black salt, iodized salt, all these different types of the salts are there. So, vacuum salt made by purification of rock salt contains more than 99.9% of what, which contains salt, means we know that it is a sodium chloride. So, but here what they have asked, vacuum salt. So, how it is going to be made, that is purification of the rock salt. So, which contains 99.9% of what? Barium chloride, sodium chloride, potassium chloride, calcium chloride. So, no doubt at all, it is containing the sodium chloride only, we know that, but whenever it is manufactured by purification, by ultra purification process, then it is going to contain a 99.9% of the sodium chloride, but it is very, very dangerous also, okay. So, that is why always try to use a rock salt instead of the pure salt. So, this vacuum salt, it is a ultra purified sodium chloride, okay. So, which is done by purifying this raw rock salt or brine solution through the evaporation under the vacuum condition. So, it removes impurities like magnesium, calcium, sulfates, all the impurities are going to be removed, and we are going to get the 99.9% of the sodium chloride, which is appears to be a white colored, fine grained and highly pure also, okay. So, but only in case of the pharmaceutical preparations only we are going to use this, but normal domestic purpose means we do not recommend to use this highly purified salt, okay. So, which is going to be not beneficial for so many patients. Next, if the drug melts sharply at the stated melting point, okay, that means exactly whatever the prescribed range it is there or point it is there, it is going to be sharply melting at the given melting point. What it means? That means it is pure in nature, right. So, if the pure drug it is available, like sodium chloride, how we have observed 99.9% pure means, if it is sharply melts at its given melting point, it is means that it is not containing any other impurities, okay. So, let us see the options: pure drug, impure drug, adulterated drug, deteriorated drug. Definitely option A, it is going to be the right answer, okay. So, we know that melting point, it is the temperature at which a solid becomes a liquid, or sometimes the solid directly it is going to be charred up also. So, a pure substance has a sharp melting point, usually within the plus or minus 0.5 to 1 degrees, okay. So, an impure or adulterated substance melts over a broader range and often lower than the expected melting point. Before that melting point itself, it tries to melt because of the impurities present in that. So, if you take the example pure paracetamol, if you take, it is going to melt at 168 to 170 degrees centigrade, okay. So, within that range a sharp melting point you are going to observe, whereas if it contains any of the impurities, you are going to observe the melting below than that, 160 to 167. So, it starts at 160 up to that 167, it goes on melting, okay. That means it indicates that it is not a pure paracetamol. Whether if it is purified from all the impurities means, definitely the melting will start at 168, okay. So, that is an indication of knowing the purity of the drug. Next question, if you observe the rifampicin, okay, anti-tubercular drug it is. A rifampicin is stored at a temperature not exceeding dash in an atmosphere of nitrogen in airtight container. So, we all were very well aware of that rifampicin is an anti-tubercular and it is a light sensitive drug also. So, it should be stored in a airtight container and light should not pass through that, and it is also in an atmosphere of nitrogen, okay. That means whether it is a temperature sensitive or not. So, let us see the temperature they are asking, what is the temperature not exceeding in order to maintain the shelf life of it. 4 degrees, 15 degrees, 25 degrees, 30 degrees centigrade. In terms of the centigrade they have asked. So, here the right option we are going to observe, that is normal at room temperature. Room temperature means 25 degrees centigrade. So, in our zone 3 and 4 areas, okay. So, if you observe the rifampicin which are already available in the market, like 150 mg capsules as well as 300 mg dose is also available. So, in the bulk also these rifampicin capsules are available, as well as pack of 10 strips also available, and not only that, as a combination rifampicin as well as isoniazid combination, it is also available for anti-tubercular drug, okay. So, for that, for rifampicin they are going to specifically use the capsule packing, that is red color capsule they are going to use, whereas isoniazid is in the white color tablet, okay. So, the differentiation they are going to maintain, because it should be protected from the light and airtight container, because they are going to use different types of the packings for this rifampicin also. So, in the direct airtight nitrogen, that means that temperature it should not exceed room temperature, that means not more than 25 degrees they are going to supply in case of the bulk bottles as well as in the form of strips also. Okay. So, whatever it is, the temperature should not exceed the room temperature. So, at the room temperature means zonal wise room temperatures are going to be different. So, zone 3 and 4 in our India, mostly tropical conditions, 25 degrees centigrade is the room temperature. So, generally this rifampicin, it is a semi-synthetic antibiotic which is going to be used majorly in case of the tuberculosis as well as in leprosy also, which is sensitive to the oxygen, moisture and heat, especially in the form of bulk, okay, bulk powder form. So, it oxidizes very easily. So, nitrogen atmosphere as an inert gas we are going to use it. Okay. So, majorly rifampicin decomposes at higher temperatures. Sensitive to the temperature means not exceeding 25 degrees centigrade we should maintain. If it crosses that, it will get deteriorated. So, that is why it is going to be packed in a airtight container and light resistant bottles. Okay. In order to maintain the temperature, we are going to use the nitrogen or inert gas to prevent the oxidation of this rifampicin. Okay. Next, let us move to the next question. Liquefied phenol. Okay, phenol, it is going to be used in so many applications. So, phenol, it is available as a solid, but liquefied phenol contains, this is also the same TNMRB 2023 we have faced this question. Let us see the options. 80% weight by weight phenol and water, 99% weight by weight phenol and water, 50% weight by weight phenol and water, 10% weight by weight phenol and water. Okay, whenever you are going to see the phenol, that means in the form of liquid it is available, on the bottle itself you can find that it is nothing but the 80% phenol. Topical formulations we are going to use it. So, this 80% means phenol, it is going to be available in the weight by weight they are going to prepare it, whereas other 20% it is water. So, that formulation we are going to call it as a liquefied phenol, okay, and also called as liquid phenol, melted phenol or phenol liquefactum. Okay. So, it is a mixture of phenol and water at 80:20, but weight by weight basis. So, phenol generally it is a normal crystalline solid at room temperature with a melting point of very less melting point, approximately 40 degrees only. So, exactly means 40.5 degrees centigrade. Okay. So, for that purpose we are going to add some water in order to make it into a liquid form. So, we are going to add the approximately 20% of the water to phenol, which lowers its melting point below the room temperature. Thus, it is going to be a liquid at the all the room temperature conditions. Okay. So, this formulation, that means whatever the 80% phenol it is there, it is preferred for the medicinal purpose like an antiseptic. Okay. So, because if you are going to use a solid phenol, it is going to be somehow caustic, it is going to cause some blisters. That is why we are going to make it into a liquid form. So, pure phenol if you take 100%, that means which is a solid having the melting point of in and around 40 and which is going to be caustic in the nature and which is going to be used as a disinfectant, but liquefied phenol it is going to be more preferred, which contains 80% of the phenol and somehow 10 to 20% of the water, but exactly if you are talking 20% of the weight by weight water it is going to be used and which is a liquid at the room temperature, which can be used as antiseptic as well as disinfecting agent also. Okay. So, in order to for the cleaning purposes it is mostly preferred one. So, let us see the options now. Okay, 80%, 99%, 50%, 10%, all are weight by weight only, but option A it is a correct answer. So, either liquefied phenol, liquid phenol or phenol liquefactum, whatever the name it is. Let us move to the next question. Caffeine. Okay, caffeine contains which type of the ring system? So, structure wise they have asked. So, let us see the options: phenothiazone, spirazole, xanthine and piperidine. So, if you observe the structure of the caffeine, first of all, the basic it is a CNS drug, right? So, in this if you observe the CNS stimulant, the caffeine, theophylline and theobromine, these are three are related to the one family, that is nothing but the xanthines. So, we are going to have different types of purines, xanthines, pyrimidines, all these moieties are going to be playing an important role. In case of the amphetamine, if you observe, this is going to have the phenyl ring as the basic moiety, whereas caffeine, theophylline and this theobromine, we are going to see the xanthine nucleus. Okay. So, in this, if you observe this purines and xanthines, as well as I told you, it contains the nitrogen atom. So, 2 nitrogens here in this 6-membered ring, and here 2 nitrogens in the 5-membered ring, right. So, 137 trimethyl purine 2,6-dione. So, this is the structure of the caffeine, where we are going to observe majorly the structure. Okay. So, xanthine nucleus, it is going to be actually it is a purine which contains the basic moiety as the xanthine nucleus. Now, let us see the options. Phenothiazone, pyrazole, xanthine, piperidine. So, definitely this xanthine, it is the right answer. So, option C, it is the right one. Next, menadione, it is used as a coagulant. Okay, menadione, it is going to be used as a coagulating agent. So, which contains, that means which is a derivative of what they are asking? Quinoline derivative, naphthoquinone derivative, anthraquinone derivative, anthracene derivative. Okay, so in this we need to find out, means definitely we should understand what is the structure related to this. Okay, so menadione, if you observe the naphthoquinone, it is there. Okay, so actually the benzene ring we are going to observe which contains another benzene, naphthol. Naphtha means 2 benzene rings are going to be there, but here you are going to see the 2 ketone moieties. Okay, so 2 ketone moieties we are going to observe for this menadione, which is also known as a vitamin K3, which is a synthetic compound. Okay, so which is related to the vitamin K, but majorly it is going to be used as an anticoagulating agent, and it has a naphthalene ring, that means 2 benzene rings are going to be available, and in this 2 ketone groups at positions of 1 and 4. Okay, 2 ketone groups are going to be available at 1 and 4, which forms the naphthoquinone nucleus. Okay, so additionally 2 ketone groups, it is going to make this one as a quinone own compound. So, it is a fat soluble vitamin that promotes the blood coagulation by supporting the synthesis of clotting factors. Okay, so different clotting factors are already available. Majorly this vitamin K, this especially vitamin K3, it is going to be called as menadione. So, naphthoquinone, because 2 ketone groups are available at 1 and 4 positions. Okay, so obviously B option, it is the right answer. Next, an amide form of local anesthetic drug. Amide form of local anesthetic. Local anesthetic, we know that procaine, benzocaine, all these are the local anesthetics only. But what they are asking, amide form of local anesthetic drug also used as antiarrhythmic drug. Okay, so that means amide form they are going to make it. Let us see the options: procaine, benzocaine, cocaine, procainamide. Cocaine, it is not going to be there, but anyhow, if you observe the procaine and procainamide, that means definitely this amide form of the local anesthetic. We know that procaine, it is going to be used as a local anesthetic. So, definitely amide form means, by seeing the answer itself, seeing the options itself, we can find the answer, right. Option D, it is going to be the answer. So, if you see the clear cut information related to this procainamide, it is a synthetic amide derivative of the ester type local anesthetic. Okay, so procaine, we know it is a local anesthetic. So, if you are taking the ester type, so this CONH benjamide amide ring, it is going to be additionally it is available. So, this is 4 amino and 2 diethyl aminoethyl here, diethyl aminoethyl. Okay, so which is a benjamide ring. So, that is why it is going to be procaine. Additionally, amide group, if you are going to add it, means it is going to act as the procainamide, which is going to possess the local anesthetic, not only local anesthetic properties, it is also going to be used as a class 1A antiarrhythmic agent. That means which is going to be effectively used in the ventricular as well as supraventricular arrhythmias. Okay, so in this also, this procainamide, it is going to be useful as an application. Now, option D, it is going to be used as a correct answer, right? So, procaine normal anesthetic, but amide form it is going to be used as an antiarrhythmic, means definitely option D it is going to be the right answer. Okay. So, next question, daunorubicin. Okay, the drugs they are asking, daunorubicin, doxorubicin, all these are the anti-cancer drugs which contains, okay, this is also structure related, pyrimidine nucleus, trypsin nucleus, morpholin nucleus, anthracycline nucleus. Doxorubicin, daunorubicin, all these are, we all know that these are the derivatives of the tetracyclines. Okay. So, daunorubicin, doxorubicin, these are going to contain the tetracyclines, means anthracycline. Okay. So, in the options they have easily given anthracycline. So, anthracycline antibiotic which is going to be used in case of the cancer treatments. So, majorly this it is related to the doxorubicin, and anthracycline nucleus, it is majorly present in these two cases, doxo as well as dauno. So, we know that it is a tetracyclic ring which is made up of fused aromatic rings. Okay, tetracyclines, these are going to be formed. So, if you observe the chemical name of this, it is very big, but as a simple, doxorubicin and daunorubicin, all these anti-cancer drugs are going to be made up of tetracyclines. So, in this we can easily find out that it is a anthracycline moiety it is going to be present. So, option D it is going to be the right answer. Okay. So, these are the structure related questions. Now, let us see, radio opaque materials have the ability to absorb, okay. So, UV rays or gamma rays or X-rays or alpha rays, they are asking, let us see radio opaque materials. Okay, that means it is not going to allow the radio waves inside it. So, what are those actually? We know that different types of the electromagnetic radiation it is available. So, in that which form of the electromagnetic radiation which is not allowing this radio waves, that means X-rays. Let us see the different metals, how these are going to be used in those cases. Whenever these X-rays are going to be used in order to absorb, that means in order to diagnose a purpose for the X-rays, sometimes in case of the MRI scanning or any type of the other radio diagnostic procedures, we are going to use different types of the isotopes. Okay. So, radio pharmaceuticals we are going to use it, and in that these X-rays are going to block the, that means it is going to be absorbing that radionucleotide. Okay. So, that is why they are opaque, they are called as radio opaque substance rays. These radio opaque materials means they are going to be absorb this X-rays, and all the radio opaque are not the radio pharmaceuticals, right. So, do not get confused that all the radio opaque materials are not the radio pharmaceuticals until they contain a radio isotope in their chemical structure. So, that is not the actual meaning you should understand. So, if you observe some of the examples, barium sulfate, if it is there, it is going to be, we know that it is going to be used in many types of the limiters also. So, it is an inorganic salts which is going to be used in case of the oral or rectal contrast for the GI tract X-rays. Okay. So, this is a barium sulfate, and next iodine, just already we have discussed iodine 131, iodine 125. Okay. So, all these isotopes which are going to be used in case of the IV contrast, intravenous contrast, that means in case of the CT scans as well as angiography, we are going to use these iodine isotopes. And bismuth compounds as an inorganic salts only we are going to use in case of the gastrointestinal imaging. Okay. So, which is alternative to the barium. So, in case of the GI tracts, that means scannings, GI related scannings, GI imagings, alternative to the barium, we are going to use this bismuth compounds. And next, lead. So, whenever it is going to be used, means in case of the metals only we are going to use this lead, but not inside the body. Okay. So, radiation shielding it is going to be there, inside the body we are not going to use it, only for the topical purpose. Okay. So, these are the different materials which are going to be used in case of radio opaque materials. So, now let us see the question, that is radio opaque materials have the ability to absorb the X-rays. Okay. So, these are the substances also we are going to use for the different diagnostic purpose. Now, let us see the next question, that is calamine lotion. Calamine lotion, in so many advertisements also we have seen about this calamine lotion, which is already available official in so many pharmacopoeias. Now they have asked calamine lotion BP, British Pharmacopoeia. It is a, so what type of formulation it is? Okay. Suspension containing indiffusible solids, it is a lotion. So, from the lotion itself we can come to know that how the formulation it is going to looking like. Suspension, all these are the suspensions only, which contains, option A they have given indiffusible solids, and option B containing precipitate forming the liquid, no, not at all. Suspension containing diffusible solids, suspension produced by chemical reaction. Okay, chemical reaction means we are not going to use in the case of this topical formulation. Okay. So, whereas this calamine lotion mostly it is going to contain the indiffusible solids, not the diffusible one, until unless it is shaked. Okay. So, this calamine lotion which is official in the British Pharmacopoeia, which is going to be used for the soothing the skin irritation or itching, any minor sunburns, majorly for the sunscreen agent, like that they are going to use. It contains the insoluble particles. So, what are those insoluble particles? Like zinc oxide, ferric oxide, which are nothing but the indiffusible solids, until unless if you are going to shake the bottle. Okay. So, they are going to be settled down. So, they do not remain evenly dispersed in the liquid unless they are shaken. So, once it is shaken means they are going to be dispersed uniformly throughout the solution. Okay. So, calamine lotion which are going to be available in the different sizes also in the market. So, this is official in the British Pharmacopoeia, which contains the insoluble particles like zinc oxide and ferric oxide. Okay. So, for the simple minor cuts or there or any type of the soothing effect, so sunscreen like agent, they are going to use this calamine lotion. Because of the topical soothing effect only it is majorly used. Okay. So, if you observe the options they have given, that is suspension containing indiffusible and suspension containing diffusible. So, in this if you see the option A, indiffusible solids, until unless shaken. Okay. So, this is going to be the right answer. So, these are the previous year questions in the TNMRB, that means in 2023 shift to questions related to the pharmaceutical chemistry as well as allied subjects. Okay. So, hope this explanation is clear to you. We will meet in the next interesting session. Thank you students. Thank you for attending.